My name is Jason Fields. I'm the operating agent for Task 43, also participating in the WRA data model development. So pretty excited about that. So we will dive in here. So first thing, wanted to cover the agenda, just so everybody's familiar. I'll give you a quick overview on Task 43 and some of the latest happenings there. Then we're going to go right into an introduction to the data model. Amit Bohara is going to give us that. Then Stephen will follow up with introducing you to some of the tools and resources, so the GitHub repo, example, documentation, that kind of stuff. We've got a slot about 9 a.m. Mountain Time for open discussion, user Q&A. So we hope that's kind of a vibrant discussion. If not, we'll just give a little extra time and a break sorry about that. And then we're going to hear from Gibson Kersing with RWE on how they actually adopted the Task 43 data model for their internal uses, and really the owner-operator perspective on this. After that, I'm going to lead a discussion on roadmap development for the data model. How do we make sure that we're meeting user needs appropriately? And also, what are the kind of next steps and key features that we want to see in the future? And then Michael Purdue with NRG Systems will close, give us a recap of the workshop, and we'll discuss any next steps and things from there. So diving right in. Our approach for this discussion will be, we'll have some presentations, but hopefully we'll have a lot of discussion. We want people to add their thoughts in the chat. Where appropriate, we'll kind of open up the microphones and allow people to throw out ideas, ask questions, all that kind of stuff. And really, we want to avoid this. We want to make sure people are awake and that this is a really valuable discussion and information exchange. So quick overview on Task 43 before we dive in. I want to give some acknowledgements to the co-operating agent, Bertan with Fraunhofer, the organizing committee, many of whom you see here, and of course, there's a whole slew of folks who are working on collaborative actions and different work packages, doing amazing work. So the overall structure of Task 43 has some cross-cutting themes. So, road mapping, data standards, data science, kind of encompass all the areas of work. And then there are specific areas of investigation like digital resource assessment, digital O&M. End of life has been wrapped up into that. And specifically, some of the outcomes or deliverables from Task 43 are things like data standards, best practices, open source tools, one of which we're talking about today. I would invite you all to join our Slack channel, and I think someone will post that in the chat here shortly. And I should just say, the Slack is the best way to kind of get connected, and that's the day-to-day. It's where the day-to-day communication happens and all those kind of things. A little bit on the roadmap. We performed a number of expert interviews on wind energy digitalization. The outcome of that interviews is really being put into a journal article, so Grand Challenges of Wind Energy Digitalization. And some of the next steps is we're creating a data roadmap, which we've just recently talked about in a group discussion last week. There's an activity on data standards and data sharing, really looking at the available data standards in the industry, not just resource assessment, but operations and everything in between. So some of the deliverables there, again, a journal article on data standards and data sharing in the industry, published list of open data sources, which is actually available on the website now. We are doing a number of things. Metadata challenge is actually ongoing, so we encourage you to join that if you're interested. And we continue dissemination as well, and Europe posters, things like this. TA3 on data science, really focused on kind of level setting the industry and helping people understand maybe what best practices might be in data science, how do we do model choice, model validation, these kinds of things. So they're working on a handbook and recommended practice development there. Work package 4, digital resource assessment. So this is really the WRA data model, which we'll hear about today. I do want to say version 1 has been released, so kudos to the team for that. And of course, this is the data model user workshop. And finally, work package 5 on digital operations and maintenance. There's a whole host of activities going on here, everything from digital twins to risk-based maintenance to maturity models, which are really, again, helping to understand what the best practices are and capabilities are with respect to digital O&M, data management, these kinds of things. And of course, there's also a value of data exercise, which is actually looking at how we value information, especially in the operations and maintenance context. So lots and lots going on here. I encourage folks to dive into the Slack channels and reach out to myself and others if you're interested in joining. Quick next steps, collaborative action. So we've actually had a number of joint discussions amongst the entire task to make sure that we're kind of breaking down the silos. For example, how does the data standards activity support the O&M activity? We will be coming to the end of the first task 43 work proposal. So we'll be doing an extension proposal in the fall. So as we're shaping that, we encourage everyone to help shape that scope for the next 3 years. We will be having a spring general meeting, potentially in person. We're kind of exploring that. Obviously, there's COVID sensitivities. We continue to do dissemination with Wind Europe, American Clean Power, etc. And of course, we're always looking for leadership on the organizing committee, on project teams, that kind of stuff. So if you want to get involved, let us know. So diving in, we're going to practice our interactivity. So this is a poll everywhere. So I think there should be a link in the chat. Thank you, Mike. So go to this link, and this is one of the ways where we're going to try and tease out some interactivity and audience participation. So first thing, where are you from? We'd love to know where you're joining from. We'll wait just a minute. Awesome, quite a few European colleagues, North American colleagues. Looks like we've got someone from India, someone from Brazil, or Argentina. Very cool. Got Chile. Very exciting to see the breadth of participation here. Thank you. All right. So we want to know a little bit about your role and your company that you work for. So we've got quite a few independent engineers. Cool. So mostly consultancies, some equipment and turbine manufacturers, wind plant developers. Excellent. All right, we'll move on here. Okay, and tell us about your current role. Oh, that's surprising. I actually wouldn't have expected a majority of data scientists and engineers. Very helpful. All right, well, so I think that's pretty much it for the introduction. I will pass it over to Amit to get started. But thank you everyone for joining. Super excited to have you, and we'll get right into it with Amit.
Jason, hi everyone. I will Jason, can you confirm if the page is on?
Yes.
Okay.